fastest corner on the calendar, and now it's full braking and little sort of squirts of power between.
Oh my goodness, it's so tight, but Veda Pratama has the advantage. Can push him back into second place, ahead of number.
They come towards turn one. It's going to be Uriarte leading the way. Veda up the inside of Christian in the corners, and they're going all 3, 4 abreast, and Morelli nearly clips the back wheel of Veda Pratama.
11 Gonzalez.
Danish has moved up another couple of spots, Peter. He's up into 7th place now. There he is in Daniel once again, so his lead was rather short-lived.
Yeah, and they've broken away. The group has broken away.
You don't want to be doing that, Marco, as he slots into 4th.
Yeah, so any idea that
in the middle of this shot, just behind Fernandez there. So Danish feeling a bit more in it. Maybe the pressure
of Karpushin is back there in 6th place, and that's the rest. Brian Uriarte was going to get to the front and run away with it. That disappeared very quickly, didn't it? Because
she's taken off in some kind of weird way. Although Brian Uriarte is much closer in the championship to him now as we look ahead
to the field. I wonder if these leading group of 5 are going to hang on to it.
Gonzalez had a big twitch to the front end.
Gonzalez, Ferdinand, oh, they're well off in the blue stuff there. That's okay. They don't get
from Danish to Uriarte. Maybe Danish is feeling a bit more in the groove and a bit more up for the fin.
He did, didn't he? He collected that up just in time to turn it right, but he lost a little bit of ground. Penalised for going off on the blue stuff. Only if they touch the green have they got to be careful.
Fight now.
Oh my goodness! It is
and he cuts right across the front of Beñat Fernandez. Good.
But I think it could have been a lot worse.
Karpushin's absolutely on it, isn't he? He got Morelli really trying to make his way through on Veda Pratama. He just tried to outbrake him there. It's me. He squeezed him as much as you possibly can. That was sensational. Podium last time out in Saxering. He's got Danish for company just behind him, and the chase begins. But Pratama cut his nose off to make sure he couldn't get through. Brian's back in the lead though. Where's Danish?
Okay, right, it is the 54 of Veda Pratama that still has the advantage, but
they're 1 second off David Gonzalez at the line. We're going to come across the intermediate just on the back of this group. He's behind the number 32 of Ramadipa, the Indonesian rider who's been on some
just the white helmet of Karpushin in 2nd place. Then Brian Uriarte in
immediate second intermediate now, near enough, or on the exit of this corner. We'll see whether that great form lately as well. He's trying to go on the inside.
Ooh, did he touch it? Almost looked as though the 3rd. Down the hill they go. Absolutely superb stuff. It's 164 kilometres there.
Gap is coming down or not, but the leading quintet, if they want to just have a race of their own.
It touched rear wheel there, didn't it?
I think he left a couple of time marks on Ramadipa's leathers there.
102 miles an hour. They get up to 194 kilometres an hour before they scrub off.
It's in their best interest just to absolutely pin it, because they've got Karpushin and Danish hot on there. But Danish, after an initial sluggish start, he's in the groove again. 8th position, trying to make his
speed into the left-hander here. Climbing the hill in 4th gear, all the way up here in 4th.
Tails.
And if you saw the orange tape come off, got pulled off one of the bikes there. And
it's way up to 7th. Gonzalez trying to make a move on Brian Uriarte into 1st again, but not quite. Karpushin just cut across the front of Uriarte. Sorry there, Peter. That was so close. They're being ultra.
Another bit lying on the road. That is the tape that they have on the radiator at the start of the race as the temperature rises. Yeah, superb, nice line from Brian Uriarte. They're hanging on to the advantage.
Morelli's made a wave through there. But look at Gonzalez just waiting to pounce on a bunch of these riders that are coming down the water.
The riders can pull the tape off and give them full cooling.
There is Beñat Fernandez, this way up into 3rd as well, ahead of Pratama. So this would be the case where Uriarte does take the fall. They fan out 3 abreast towards the penultimate curve. Uriarte up to the inside. Karpushin doesn't want to give it in. Then he was the fastest rider on track last time around, 2/10 of a second quicker than championship today.
Yeah, indeed. And of course Veda knows that, so he's going to be...
But he's forced to. He cuts back up the inside. They go off the track, over onto the black stuff, into one. Your leader, Christian Daniel, so he could well be a threat later in the race. But what's for...
He must be worried about the 2 Spaniards getting ahead now. They could make a break on
the final corner. Uriarte has to give way and move back down into 3rd place.
Yeah, he went...
These front 5 riders are just absolutely drilling it. They're not interested in a
Morelli and make it very difficult for them. We'll see what happens.
Through Kerfone, here we go, on board with the Indonesian.
Not from 1st to third, just on the scrub, and the brakes into the left-hander. That's Carpucci.
Pack race, they want to have one of their own.
Yeah, that's right. And Brian Uriarte,
Quite as he tries to make a move through Morelli there. That is one of the bravest places to do it on the calendar.
that leads again, and still 15 laps to go. My goodness, they're about half. And Veda Pratama are well able to drag this group away from the rest of the field, but that isn't happening. Look at that!
Oh wow, but it's such a pleasure to watch Veda.
Brake will stand this up the inside. It's the number 11 of David Gonzalez who has a look happening at the moment. It's 3 abreast on the brakes.
Oh, and Christian Daniel, the last on the brakes there. Jatama Ryder Morelli fights straight back at him. Tries to stand him up in the middle of the corner as well. Oh, someone's down in the background. Oh, it was Dinesh. Dinesh went down, Peter. I'm sure of it. Just lets them off a little bit later than everybody else. He's going to go across track limits, though, on the exit of that, which is the rescue. Absolutely brilliant.
Rubbing paint off each other, and yet they're not slowed down at all, are they? Because they didn't lose ground.
In the lead now by 12 points. Here's what happened. He cuts up the inside, he goes run as they come now down towards 2A and 2B. Veda wants to go up the inside there.
Uriarte and in that battle.
Well, then just behind them, you've got wide. He's got a lot of corner speed, too much. He lost the front twice, and the second time he didn't catch it again. But Christian Daniel just so late on the brakes, isn't he? Goodness me! And that was a bit of an example there of Pugliese. Zenmitani started from 4th on the grid. He's in 6th, just ahead of Danish now.
Was it Carter Thompson he will be clipped actually?
I think so.
Whatever it was.
Slightly rushed the corner, but I don't think he sacrificed his drive too much there on this big hill climb. And 7th, who's dispatched Ramadeepa. We see fastest laps of the race, the fastest rider on.
They got away with it anyway.
We're on board with Dinesh now. He goes there and up towards turn 3.
And I think he dragged Veda Pratama onto the green with him there at turn 1. But
Track off the race so far. Hakim Danish.
yeah, absolutely brilliant stuff. He knows what he's got to do.
Fernandez in front of him.
Oh, my goodness.
Wowee.
Right. There's the chasing pack, including Benyat Fernandez, and they are closing in. They're visibly closed. So even Danish, he went into the race, as I said, saying that the bike was only 80% sorted. He's back with the lead. It's Brian Uriarte who has the advantage over Carpucci in the white helmet. So now you don't need to see too much about the timing screens, because you can see they are closing in. He's riding around any kind of problems that he's got at the moment. Fastest man on track.
The other 20% has got to come from
Gonzalez is in 3rd place.
And you've got Morelli in there as well, Peter.
Where did he come from?
And this is the danger. You know, Uriarte, Pratama, they do not want a big pack because of him. And that other 20% came from Marco Morelli there as he pushes Pratama out wide as they